Hi everybody and welcome to Truewants. So here we try to help you make that decision if it's going to change from a want to a need. Now we don't edit here. I do my best to film. Usually I have a lot of research to do ahead of time. That's what I normally do because here we usually talk about the brands, the products, the deals, and periodically I will do a couple of these get ready with me's. As you know, I normally stand when I'm doing my get readies with me, usually over there. I've done them a couple of times with you. I'm trying a different setup today, so we're going to see how this works. I did end up getting a fantastic mirror at Costco for like $19.99. I'll post it on my Instagram. My name there is Truewants with the number 2. So I figured, you know what, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to try my best to see if I can do it sitting down because I got from Influencer a fantastic foundation from Lancome. It's this one here that's called Teint Idéal Ultra Wear. And they had a couple of colors to be able to choose from, and I was able to pick for myself 305N was the lightest shade by the time I got in. If you're not familiar with Influencer, it's a fantastic free program that you sign up for. I think I have a link for it down below that when I first started with it, it was even before I had a channel, where you get the opportunity to fill out surveys and they will give you sometimes the opportunity to get free product. It has changed a lot since I was doing it. It used to be where you used to get Vox boxes. I don't know if those happen anymore. Right now, more on Instagram. I'm going to just try to do my makeup. I put a bunch of stuff over here to go through it. Just so you know, I've already done my skincare. I've been using the Lauren's brightening skin masks. I'm trying to do that a couple of times to 3 to 4 times I'm getting up to during the week. Right now, I think I used this yesterday and I used it again today, so I'm trying to build it up. Definitely, it is bringing out some visitors, but that's what happens when you use exfoliation pads. You're trying to get everything that's gook inside out. So that is what I've been doing with this. Then I've been using from my FabFitFun, the Dr. Perricone under the eyes that I already did. I added in this product here. We just got this in the PR unboxing, so if you haven't seen that, I'll try to link that down below. This is from Sonage. It's supposed to be a brightening serum, and with last month's booster from Ipsy, the MZ Skin Hyaluronic Acid Hydrating Serum. I put those both on. And then finally, the last item that I put on was from my glam bag, which is this Dr. Lily Fan Probiotic Recovery Cream. This has been a real treat. A couple of people wrote to me in the comments that they are feeling stinging. I'm not, but if you get that, you know, everybody's skin reacts differently. This here was absolutely fantastic. When you put it on, especially when you do it before makeup in the morning, it really sinks into the skin and leaves nothing. I'm not sticky. Everything's completely in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put on the e.l.f. primer, a sticky primer. I haven't used this in a long time, but I know we're going to be going out and about and the humidity is back in Florida. We had a fantastic week or two of just absolute beautiful 7-degree, 60-degree weather, which is such a treat. I'm such a fall girl. I loved everything fall. So I was able to pull out a lot of my fall wardrobe that I haven't given up yet because we still, if you're not familiar, I originally lived in Canada for many years, but we traveled all over the world. But Florida is a temperature that I have to so get used to. It is so different than anything. When you're visiting and you're here for a week and the weather's beautiful, it's great, you're by a pool. But when it's your day-to-day life, it is really completely differently. And the humidity and my hair, it's not a good mix. So I have to get used to it. And you also change your patterns. So what I used to look forward to was, you know, fall, spring, summer, and, you know, winter was always something that was not my favorite season. But that's how I always grew up. That was how, now everything is reversed here. I don't look forward to summers because it gets too hot. It's just a whole different mindset for me, but it is what it is. I'm just going to put a little bit more of this on here because I'm not feeling the stickiness yet. So maybe I didn't put enough. And then I will put the next products that I share with you all the time under my eyes. And that's that. All right. So it's so weird to sit in a room and talk. I know I'm talking to you guys, and I know when it goes up and the film, upload, download, thumbnail, all that, it's fine. But when you're doing the process, it is a really weird feeling. So if you've never had a channel or done anything, just try to sit with your phone in front of the mirror with a camera and you'll know the experience that I'm feeling right now. All right. And also when I'm sharing with you about brands and products, it's all knowledge that I have. This is all stuff that either I've had the opportunity to try for a little bit or it's brand new to me, which this foundation is going to be. So I'm really excited about that. So I pulled out a couple of items. What I put on my lips that I've really been enjoying, and a couple of you guys got it too, from Do With The Gods. This is their hyaluronic lip butter. This one here, they all have different little scents to it. It's a really fantastic product. I use this every night and every day, and it is just fantastic. And it's a good habit to get into, and especially if you live up north where everything just dries you out, even if you're a combo girl like me, this is something that you should get into a good habit of doing before you go to bed and first thing in the morning when you wake up. It's just a really nice treat for your lips. All right, okay, so let's get into the first thing that I do all the time, be it if I'm gonna be wearing tinted moisturizer or not. I always get these type of products. This one here is from Skin Foods. I'm trying to use this one up, but I have it from Becca. I have it from the drugstore one as well, from Catrice I've shared with you. These are absolutely fantastic. If you're like me and you have a little bit of darkness, I've added through the years now some puffiness because I'm definitely not getting my age. I'm gonna do my best to try to put this up and down so that I'm not blocking you guys, and I don't know how much when I'm looking down, how much you see or you don't see. So I'll know that when I look back at this with you, because like I said to you, I don't edit. I'm trying my best to share as much information as I can with you, because that's what this channel was, created for. It was for me to get a little bit out of my comfort zone. And what I found that my whole life, was business. We had a company. I was always the girl boss and things like that. Didn't start that way because we started in my mother's basement and that whole story. One day I'll sit down and I'll share with you. But this is the brush that I've been using for many years. I have backup on backup. It's the one from It Cosmetics. It is a real treat. And it really gets everything in. It's a fantastic soft kabuki brush. One side helps with concealer and the other side is just a soft kabuki. So this just takes some of that, darkness down and just gives me that comfort zone that I've taken away some of that darkness. So, okay. Now I also purchased for myself when Amazon was having this amazing sale, because like you, I get influenced, the BK Beauty brushes. I haven't used them yet. I bought 3 when they were on sale. And we get so many brushes in our boxes, and then sometimes, if you're like me, we're rushing out, so we go to our comfort zone, which are the brushes we're used to using. But today I figured if I'm trying a new mascara, I'm gonna try some new brushes as well. All right, so like I said, all my other stuff is over there. I really took time over the holidays, whenever I had a good break, to try to get my stuff organized so that I had the space for it, because I have the height here. And I wanted to, in those black boxes that you're seeing there, those are fantastic for like the heavier duty stuff, like skincare, the hair products, my palettes, a lot of stuff is up there. I also have this area here that also has all my foundations and palettes and blushes and all that. I have that all organized. But like I said, I usually stand up over there, and I have a mirror that is beside there that I stand up, because I used to put on makeup a lot of times in hotel rooms. So I was always standing up with those mirrors that I got used to. That's how I was doing my makeup. But what I ended up doing was buying a lot of these type of clear boxes. Years ago, I saw Desi have a fantastic room. A lot of these girls have these fantastic beauty rooms. And I just thought it was a great idea because it gave me the organization that I needed. I have a drawer that's concealers that are drugstore, and then my higher end. I have a drawer that is highlighters and powders, and I tried to get it all so that it's individual so that I can see what I have, because what ends up happening for me personally is I was getting overwhelmed. And then if you're constantly using the same makeup, you're not trying anything new. And this is what I tried to do. I also put a little black box over there. I think that's where it is. And in there, that is the most recent stuff that we just got last month. So I have a lot of stuff that I have to try that's in there as well. But I did pull out some of that is here, and we're going to go through it all together. So I don't know how this shade's going to go. So let's see what we end up with right now. So I'm going to put a little bit so we can see what the color is there. And then I'm just going to, oh, this brush is beautiful. It's like so soft. Wow. That looks like beautiful, beautiful coverage. All right, let me play a little, and hopefully you're seeing what I'm seeing. Yeah, this brush is like putting it on like butter. I'm definitely a beauty blender girl. And I think I got comfortable with the beauty blender simply because I have like a heavier hand and it ends up taking off some of the makeup. I did wet a beauty blender so that if I needed to, I will definitely use it afterwards. But let me just go a little up close and see, make sure I'm getting. I think that's a good match as well. Really, really pretty. I'm just going to put a little bit more on and just spread it around in the middle because that's really where I like to have a little bit more coverage. And I will be putting concealer as well. But you can wear this as light or you can build it up. I'm somebody that always has skin issues. So for me, putting makeup on was not always to enhance the beauty from within. A lot of times it was to cover. So I have to try to dig myself out of that comfort zone. And then whatever's left on the brush, I always put over the eyes to just get my face to be that one shade. No, this brush is a winner, guys. So if you see this on sale, I know BK is expensive and we all have so many other brushes that we can play with, but if you can see this style, it is just beautiful. This is an absolute win. And the shade that I ended up picking for myself, that, like I said, was the lightest shade when I went, was 305N. And I consider myself light medium with neutral undertones, but if I had to choose, I would go more cool than I would warm. And they always say the best way to know your undertone is always by the veins. So if you have more prominent blue veins or more prominent green veins, that's how you know blue is cool, green is warm. But if you have both, they say that you're neutral. Also, they say if you look good in silver jewelry, or if you look good in silver jewelry, you're cool. Yellow is gold, gold is warm. So, but if you never know, neutral is always a good way to go. All right, so this is the other brush that the Hot with Angie has a channel. She's been around a long time. She was one of the more mature influencers, and she came out with this also, that same type of style that has almost like they call it a kitten paw. So that I'm going to use with, I'm trying to use up Item Beauty. I don't think she's developing anymore. I know she was an incubator with Ipsy, and I loved her line, from her skincare to her, this reminds me so much of one of my favorite concealers, which is from Too Faced as well. So this is something I do a little bit here under the eyes. I do a little bit in the middle of my forehead, a little bit down my nose, so that you're bringing brightness to the center of your face. And then here to help a little bit with the lines. And then whatever's left, I put back on the eyes. Didn't have to go back in. It's just really, really fantastic. But like I said, I'm doing my best to use it up because I do not think that, and when you don't do your makeup on screen or in a video, you use what you have as opposed to always trying to play with new stuff. So that's more where mindset is. I love being able to have the channel where I can share with you the deals that are going on so that you have access to them at the same time that I see them, so that we can all enjoy together. Because there's nothing worse than when you're watching somebody and they got something at a great deal, and by the time they show it to you, that deal doesn't exist anymore. So, and also as you get older, I don't know if you're noticing, I pat as opposed to pull. It's just what you learn because your skin stretches with you. And when you get older, sometimes it doesn't stretch back. So that's something you have to be aware of. So that is that there. So this gives a little bit extra coverage, a little extra brightness. I'm hoping that what I'm seeing, you're seeing. And that's that. So base is good. All right, so we got that there. The other thing that I do is I use a banana powder, which you see here. I have an old e.l.f. brush that I've always used for this banana powder. So girl of habit, we're going to continue. And then all this does is sets, but it also brightens up the under eye area, gives it whatever little extra help it needs. And I'm just going to do this on camera with one eye. And I'll look back at you and see if that what I'm doing makes sense and that it still is something that works. Okay, and now I'm going to do the other eye. See, this doesn't help with the bags, but it helps with the coloration so that hopefully it gives a little bit more brightness. All right, I'm also going to be using and trying the Beauty for Real powder. I unpacked this. I don't know if I've used this yet. This one's in translucent. I also picked up this month in the 350 section a brightening powder to see if that can also help with the under eye situation. This comes with a little puff. It also has an extra little shield that is on here, and it has a little mesh underneath it. So what I'm going to do is I'm initially going to do it with this puff. It's very powdery because I'm more used to taking and putting it into the other part of the lid, which is where I'm comfortable doing it. So I'm going to continue to do that, and then I'm going to try to push it into the pad, and then I'm just going to push it into the skin. And what's great about doing this, especially if you're like me and you have where you have texture, you have pores, which we all do, just so you know, like there's nothing, you know, I'm sure a lot of girls use filters. I don't. I want you guys to see, you know, someone in real time doing their makeup and playing with filters and all that stuff. It's just not my world. That mesh helps also only get out a little bit, so you don't have to worry if you're traveling. I used to travel so much that my loose powders, when I would get there and I would open them, they would literally explode. So I'm doing my best to just push this all into the skin. And translucent is good that if you don't want to change the color of your foundation, it's always good to use translucent. But if your foundation is too dark or too light, you can play with concealer a little bit, especially in the center of the face. But also what I find that I do is I have, and I've shared this with you in the past, different powders that have different colors to them. In the Maybelline Fit Me powders, the one in the square, that one is fantastic to have because that one I have it in fair, I have it in light, I have it in light medium. So if my foundations, you know, depending on the season, your skin also changes here too, the more time you spend in the sun. I also have a fluffy brush that right now, I'm just gonna remove any of whatever I wasn't able to push in. But those Fit Me powders are fantastic. They're very similar to me, to my Laura Mercier, and those are the ones that I used to travel with all the time. Okay, so that's that. So at this point, you can also spray if you want to, because I want to try to move this along. I'm not going to, but a lot of times I will spray wait a good, 5 minutes, let all that get in so that everything melts together, but we're gonna move this forward this time around. I also a lot of times do contour. I didn't bring it out here. I just use a small little contour brush, but we're gonna just go on to bronzer. The bronzer I'm gonna use also, Ipsy. This is one called Undisrupted. It is by the brand called Context. This one broke when it arrived and I pushed it all back in, so I'm just trying to use this guy up. But ironically, in one of my mystery boxes that I ended up purchasing, I ended up with a brand new one, same color. So once this, as you can see, it's like getting totally used, and we'll do our best to try to use it up, and then I'll be able to discard it, and then I don't have to have FOMO because I have another one. So what I do with this is I believe in the number 3. I always start back here and bring it forward. Then whatever excess, I put it on the top of my forehead here. And then whatever's left over, I do it on the bottom of the chin here. I'm excited to watch this back with you so I can see from one side to the other if this all makes a big difference. Oh, you know what I forgot to bring? I had another kabuki brush that I used to blend everything in, but I'll do that off camera. So this is one side with and one side without. And now we're gonna do this here. I also have a large fan behind me that if I start to get warm, which I'm at that stage in life where that happens, and I also have a lot of doors closed, so this room doesn't have the ventilation like the rest of the house because it is a bathroom. I will be turning the fan on, and I'm hoping it's not going to disrupt too many people. Okay, now remember, if you're seeing here where it looks a little too dark, don't worry with me. I will be buffing this out with a kabuki brush that I did not bring here. You know, maybe I'm going to try this guy here so I can show you the difference when you buff it in. Do you see how it takes away some of the harsh lines? So don't be afraid to buff, and whatever you're taking away, you'll be able to put back. Remember, makeup is to play with, it's to have fun, it's to learn about your face, it's to try new products. Okay, I'm gonna put the fan on. Just for a little bit, guys. I hope you don't mind. Okay, so now I'm just going to, that's it for the bronzer. I'm now going to take the blush. This is also an old IT Cosmetics. It's one of my favorite blush brushes. Like I said, I gotta get a little bit out of my comfort zone. This is also a Tarte that we got in the previous month's box. The shade that I'm going to be using is called Captivated, and it really is a beautiful peachy, really light shade. We'll see how this looks. And what I like about these IT Cosmetic brushes, they're a little bit larger, but as you can see, there's a little bit of a dome to it. So a lot of the product gets here and then it disperses when you put it on your skin. So let me show you here. I always start with the apple of my cheek and then I push it up. I think that's pretty. All right. And that's a little bit that you need. And these last all day. I share with you all the time about those IT Cosmetic blushes were such a find for me over 20 years ago. Because like I said, I used to travel so much that I would put my makeup on in the morning and then I would remove it at night, but I'd be on planes, I'd be in meetings, and I never had to touch up, especially not my blush. And that was amazing. So that's where we are so far. So that's the face. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to just do a quick little spritz. This we just got in this month's box. It's the Vitamin Boost Ciate London Setting Spray. It has a bit of a cucumber scent to it. And then if you want, you can always use your sponge to push it all in. If there's any droplets, also giving some moisture back to the skin is always a good thing. And that's that. So now we're gonna play with a couple of things. I have here, oh, I also have a highlighter that we got. I got it in the large size, and I also have one of these from the 350 section. And this one is from the brand that is Seraphine Botanicals, another brand that I was not that familiar with, but this is really beautiful. And this is in the shade that is called Oyster. And I have a little Real Techniques brush, but I have so many of these highlighter type of brushes from so many brands, including a beautiful one from Alamar. But I'm going to use this one here, and I'll just show you where I put my highlighter. I do it high up here because I don't have any texture up there. And it brings a little bit of interest up there, right underneath the brow, a little bit down the nose. And then, believe it or not, I also put it above the brows here. And highlighter is pretty much where, if light's going to hit your face, it's on the high points, and that's a good thing to remember. Okay, cute. All right, so now I'm gonna also put on a lip, which is usually my, you know what, it's usually my last step, but I'm gonna put a lip on now. This is the one from Pinky B. This is the one in 1986. I have another one that's absolutely fantastic too, that's also more nude. And then I was able to pick up, make a choice in my glam bag this month for one that was called Open Heart, which for Valentine's Day I thought was great. And then we have a darker one that I also picked up in the add-on section. I'm really enjoying this brand's lip products. That's all I've really tried from this brand, but I will put my lip on and then we'll take it from there. So with me, what I end up doing, my lips I think are still a good size. They haven't shrunk yet, which I know is another form of aging. But what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna just go a little bit above my Cupid's bow. And then I bring it down back into where my real lip is. And then for underneath, what I do is I go right under. And again, this part is under, and then I bring it up into my real lip line. And because this is a gloss on the other side, I'm going to fill in the rest of my lip with the same pencil that's here. And you can see how it's gliding just so beautifully. Isn't that pretty? All right, and now I'm going to put the gloss right on top. This feels so beautiful on the lips. It's not sticky at all. And I love that it's all in one. Is that not a beautiful, beautiful color? It's like your lips, but better. Just, it gives it a juiciness that I think is absolutely fantastic. All right, so that is the lip. Now we're gonna get into some of the eye product. And of course, we just got in our box this month. This ended up in my PR, but it's also what I chose for my paid for. This is from Ace Beauté. It's the Whimsical Bloom palette. And on this one here, these are the gorgeous shades that are in here. So I'm just gonna do more of the best neutral look that I can do with all these colors here, because a few people said that they were afraid of this palette because there was too many colors in it. And I say the colors are just pretty. It can give you some ideas, but when you block off some of the colors, you get to see. And I showed you when we did the unboxing of the PR, because I also swatch in all of my PR. If you covered up this pink, this whole top row is all neutrals as well as down the side. Also, the whole top row of this is a mattes, and then this is all the satins shimmers. If you haven't seen that video, I definitely suggest you watch it, because we have that mega drop shop sale that's also coming up that I think is absolutely fantastic. It's only going to be 1 week this time, so I'm hoping they're going to put a lot of the deals right away. So we have to be on top of our game to see what's in there, and we'll see if they give us some of the daily deals like they usually do. But I haven't seen any yet, but as soon as I see anything, you know that I sit down and I film to share it with you so that we can all know at the same time. So with this, I'm going to simply use the mirror that's here so I can push this down a little. And usually, like I say, I stand up, so I do this over my sink. So I put a little paper towel here so that when I tap, I won't have a huge mess to clean up. So this is beautiful. This is laying down beautiful. And this color, which is the first color, is really close to my lid tone. So it's coming out really, really pretty. All right, just gonna do a little more. Now, if, you know, a lot of girls, sometimes I use eye primer depending how long I think I need to wear my shadows. Today we're just running around and doing errands, so I want to just see how this lasts on a regular eye, and if it doesn't, then I know the next time I wear this, I'm gonna have to use an eye primer. But I've had really good luck with Ace Beauté, and I know a lot of you have as well. Now I'm gonna just try to build up my eye, and what I love being able to share with you guys is I have very small eyes. Now, a lot of girls say they have hooded eyes. I think as you get older, you could have more hooded eyes, and some people, based on their ethnicity, their eyes could be hooded. Mine are just small, and I have very little lid space. So how I make my eyes look larger is an illusion. So what I do is I take some other colors, and I'm still building up, just going from, this was the lightest shade, now I'm going to the next lightest, and then I'm going to use the next one right next to it. And what I will be doing is I put it above, so as if this is where my crease would be, which of course it's not. And I use the windshield wiper on a very, very light hand. Now, as you can see here, and I'm going to just show you, whenever I use this brush, and this is an old Mally's brush, it is the perfect brush for me. I just love it, and I always compare all the brushes that I get to it. But as you can see, there is some fallout in the pan, but as long as you tap your brush off, I'm not seeing a lot when I'm tapping off, but I'm definitely not seeing any fallout on my face when I do that. Now, as you'll see, when I'm going to go a little lower on my lid will move a little bit more because I am older. And that's what ends up happening. Like I mentioned, the elasticity in this area definitely started to work against me. But I've worn makeup my whole life, so it could also be that I wasn't as gentle on my lids as I should have been. So as you can see, just by that little bit of the lighter color, it's opened up my eye area a little bit more. And then we're going to do the next color right beside it, and I'm going to go a little lower. And that's going to, the darker the color, the more it's going to act like the depth is going to go in. Now, I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just a girl that is a beauty enthusiast, and makeup makes me feel better. So if that's what makeup does for you, enjoy it and play. And don't always do it when you're rushing out like I am right now. You also could be using it, you know, a lot of girls mention that before they're going to get ready to take their makeup off, that's when they'll play. That's usually when I use my time to practice even more with eyeliner, because that still, to me, is very, very tricky. Now I'm going to go down to that beautiful orange color that's calling my name. And this looks like it's going to be a little intense, so we're just going to go a little bit lower. And that one brush I'm putting on both sides. And it's all about blending, so better to use a light hand and blend. Now, a lot of times during the day, this is where I stop and it leaves my eyes a little bit more open. But if I want more definition, which I'm going to do with you guys here, just so you see what I do, I then take a pencil brush, and it could be any brand. You don't have to worry. A pencil brush looks like this. And I'm going to go with a deeper tone. And so that's going to be the brown that's on the top. It's a beautiful chocolate color. And this, what I do is I do a little bit of a stamp. So I place it here on the corner, not all the way out here, because my eyes go a little bit down. So that's why a lot of the times when you see girls teaching you how to do eyeliner, you have to learn a little bit more about the shape of your eye. And now I know my eye goes down a little bit. So if I try to do a straight line, it'll end up being down like that. So I cheat with my eyeliner too, which I'll show you. And I drag a little bit of the dark color on the outside, but only like a quarter of the way. Then I will take with that same pencil brush, because I've already packed the product here, I'm going to be blending with a different brush. I then take the orange shade, which is that pop of color, same pencil brush, and I put it right in the middle. So what that does, do you see it? Kind of, I'm doing what I did on the top, I'm doing it on the bottom, and this I just put dead center. And then we're going to, I'll show you what we do in the corner there. So it gives the eye a little bit more of that same look that's on the top. And then, I hope I brought the right brush. Yeah, this is a little bit thicker of a blender brush, a fluffier one. And then I'm going to dab in just once into that same brown, and then I just start swirling. So what I'm doing is I'm blending, and as you can see, it doesn't blend away, it just makes it a lot softer, so it's not so hard. Okay, and whatever I need to fix up, I will fix up off camera, but I just want to give you guys a little bit of what I do. Then I have a flat brush, like this, any flat brush, doesn't matter the brand. And then I'm going to choose what color I'm going to put from the center of the part, which are those little satin shimmers to give the eye a little bit of a pop. So what I'm going to do, because I'm doing with all the browns, I'm going to choose the one that's called Amber Gold. But I always do it first on its own to see the color payoff, and if not, I will put a little bit on here, and then you'll hear me spritz the brush once I put the powder on it. So that's what it looks like without the spritz. I'm going to do the same on the other eye. And I'm doing it just in the center. And I go a little bit higher up because, like I said, I don't have a lot of lid space. And this isn't popping as much as I wanted it to, but I might be wrong. That's why I want to show myself when I watch this back with you guys, the difference of when I put the spray on and when I don't. So now I'm going to pack a little bit on both sides of my brush. And I'm going to spritz with the same that we used before. yeah, it definitely pops it a little bit more. And these are little secrets that you learn by watching some of the makeup artists, be it on YouTube, or you learn all these little tricks. And also if you've ever gotten your makeup done, you know, with the makeup counters and things like that. Now, what I always do at the end is I always feel that what I started with is kind of now all blended away. It happens no matter which shadows I use, high and low end. I will go back in with the shade that we used on top, these guys. I mix the two together, and then I just go back on the top here. And again, I'll go to the camera so we can see if it made a difference or if it's all just in my mind. Okay, and then the final step with the eyes in reference to shadow is I take another smaller brush, and this one also, I don't know what these are all called. This is from Crown. These are all older brushes. I wanted to just show you that you don't need, we have so many ones that I'm going to try in the future, but these are my go-to. So I can go back in with the lightest shade. If there was a lighter shade than the one that was in here, I just go back in the corner here to brighten it up a little bit. Because this is always a little dark on everybody because it's a shadow. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the lightest shade that's in here, which is that second one in. And this is also where you can add that little, if you want to put a little, if you're wearing something green, you can add the green, you can add the purple, you could do all that. You could put it right here as well. And that will just cause a reflection, which I think is so pretty. And then I bring it to that first part that I didn't put any shadow in, right in that top there, top here, and out here. And then I just take that same big fluffy brush, again, tap it a little bit into that brown shade to push it all together so that everything melds into each other. It was so funny. I went to the dentist office once with the hygienist, and she was a new hygienist, and you know, you close your eyes back while they're cleaning your teeth. And when we were finished, she was new. She turned to me and said, I just got to tell you, I love how you do your eyes. You got to tell me. And it's funny, you don't know who notices or who doesn't notice, but little things, you know, it's always nice that if you see something or you like someone's lipstick, it doesn't hurt to say something. And it really made me realize that the amount of work that you put into yourself, sometimes it's not only a reflection of you, it's sometimes how other people see you. So I think that's really, really sweet, especially when someone a lot younger takes the time to share with you that they like your makeup or they like your look or things like that. Anyways, just it came to my mind when I just did this. So now I'm just going to look in a larger mirror, and this is a beautiful, beautiful fall look, and I think it became really fall-like simply because of that shade that I put in the middle. And that's it. So I'm going to just do another spritz again to meld everything together, including the eyes. Also to help cool myself down a little. I also have a simple brow pencil that I'm going to just open this up again. And with my brows, I just do a little bit where when everything is still wet, because I do have a couple of grays that are coming through there, but I do like the shape that I have. So it's just darkening up a little bit where it's sparse in the front, and then just pulling the pencil through so that it catches any of the couple of grays that are wanting to make an appearance. And then on the other side, this is just an old brow gal. I have so many of these. Just pulling it through. It's just a simple spoolie. And that's that. So now I'm gonna put a little bit mascara on. I do want to show you a little trick that I do with my eye. I'm going to do my best to try to do this here. I do have a larger mirror on the other side of this, and I'm hoping this won't blind you guys. I don't know how to move this around. No, I can't do that. All right. Oh, it might be because this is in. Hold on. Pull that out. Yeah. Okay. This is a 10 times magnification on the other side. So I don't know. I've never used this mirror before, so I'm going to try. This is the brand Defiance Beauty. These are fantastic. If you see these in the shop, definitely grab them. Also, whenever you're using liquid, it's always good to shake it first. And then I'm hoping that by doing it this way, you guys will be able to see. So, as I shared with you, my eye goes down just a little bit. So I start my eye where my pupil is, and then I go out straight. So yeah, it's going to be hard to do this with you guys. So this here, I'm going to put it back to the regular side. I'm hoping the camera's picking this up. So what I do is from here, I'm just going to pull it so that you guys can see it. I tried my best not to pull, because when you pull it back, it's not always going to go exactly where your eye started. So you can't pull too much. But I'm hoping that you guys are seeing what I do. And that's, so it's a straight line there. So that gives the eye a little bit of an opening. I'm gonna do it the opposite way so you guys can see. So this I did straight like this to the center of my eye. So I took my pencil with the liquid liner. So you see how it's going not completely in there. This area here is still blank. So I'm cheating the eye. I'm showing that my line goes like this, but my real eye line really goes down. So I'm trying to get it to go like that so that my eye will have a lifting experience. Don't worry if it looks a little gunky. It's fine, because once you put your mascara on, it'll all disappear. This is from Morphe. I picked this also up in the 350 section. It's a primer. It's blue. I wanted to try it. So we're going to do that. And we're going to be covering this up with black. But I like using eyelash primers simply because for me, I find it really conditions the lashes as well. That did a really nice job. So if you just want to wear blue, this you could do as well. And I usually do my mascara. I tell you guys I have a back issue. So I have a machine that I have to lie down and it lifts my feet up. So what I do is, that's where I usually do my mascara. The machine takes, I think, between 10 and 12 minutes, and that's where I'll sit and do my mascara and then scroll through my phone. So it's been a long time since I've done my mascara sitting up. This is the Bobbi Brown. This is another one that I've been enjoying. I have so many mascaras open that I literally just put my hand and whatever pulls up, that's the one I'm going to use. So that's one of the pull-throughs of the primer, and then this was one dip in. And I think that did a really nice job. All right, we'll do the other eye. And my lashes on this eye are always better than my other eye. And I always laugh when people are trying different mascaras on one eye and then different mascara on the other eye. And they say, oh, look how much nicer this mascara is. I could use the same mascara on both eyes and they can look like two completely different mascaras. But I definitely feel using the eyelash primers helps condition the lashes. So if it doesn't give you more definition, what it is doing is it's conditioning your lashes. And I found that when I remove my makeup, it ends up, I'm not seeing any eyelashes on when I'm removing, where in the past I used to. So that's the way I'm going to leave it for now. I definitely will probably put a little bit more on when I use my back machine. And then to do the bottom lashes, I don't know how much. I take the brush and I take it this way and then I do it this way. So it gets every little hair. That's it. So I think we did good. That's pretty much what the look is going to look like. Then I'll take my hair down, I'll get dressed, and I'm definitely 10 minutes later than I wanted to be, but talking and doing this takes extra time. But that's the final look. So hopefully you enjoyed spending some time with me and seeing how I put my makeup on, but I think we got a winner here, but I will know and leave in the comments how this lasted throughout the humidity and the running around that I have to do today. But thank you for taking the time to spend with me here on a no edit, putting on your makeup. Someone a little bit more mature, and hopefully if you have some of the same products that you'll play with them as well. And if you don't, and I've intrigued you to get some, then you know that I shop in the shop, and then just keep your eyes open for some of the products that I used that you'll have the opportunity to use. I also suggest highly to not only become a member of Ipsy, because it is an absolute treat. The boxes that I continue to pay for, even if I get PR from the boxes, is because there's so much more to a subscription box. It's those sales that I get from a lot of the brands. We're always tempted by what's new in the drugstore. They're fun to watch those videos when you have time, but you'll realize you have so much in your stash, and if you weren't into the community of beauty, which a lot of us started to become, part of, you find that you are interested now more to try new things. And the best way to try new things and to keep yourself in budget, at least for me, because I always share with you, I have way more wants than needs, obviously, but I always want to be able to try new technology, learn new tricks, things like that. And that's what I feel the beauty community can do. So I don't want anybody having FOMO. You will have access to be able to try things for $3.50, or an eyeshadow palette that's normally $40 for $12. And all of that is in the Ipsy shop, as well as FabFitFun shop is great. The Allure shop is great. And those are reasons why I continue to get those subscriptions, because not only do I get these fantastic monthly boxes, I also get access to that beautiful world of the shop. Remember, the Mega Drop Shop is going to happen on February the 10th. I always have in my description box if you want to join Ipsy. They're also part of Rakuten. My Rakuten link is something I started sharing on my channel early on because nobody knew about it, and I was so happy to share about it because it's how I get extra dollars via check for doing what I was doing anyways. I was still able to go onto the website that had all my information, use their coupons, but on top of it, I would get a percentage back from Rakuten. It's simply a cashback app. And that's it for this video, guys. So everybody, continue to stay safe and well. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, make sure to share in the comments. If you've had the opportunity to try any of these products, I would love to know that as well. And that's it. So this is a no edit, so that is going to be the code word that if you stayed with me all the way to the end, simply leave in the comments no edit, so that you know that this is not how long I normally take to do my makeup, but it does take this long when you want to sit down and explain every detail. So take care, everybody, and I'll see you all soon in the next video. Bye for now.